Hey, what's happening guys, Chris here, and today I'm going to be showing you some new cool gadgets and equipment that you can get in the Battlefield Hardline Robbery DLC. Being a premium member will grant you access to these new gadgets, as well as buying the Robbery DLC standalone. So first off, the CS gas launcher. This essentially fires a gas grenade that emits tear gas when it lands. The gas effects are basically the same as the standard gas grenades, slowly reducing opposing players' health and blurring their vision. The damaging effect only happens when the player is in the cloud, though they'll still be left with a blurry screen for a few seconds after escaping. The gas also doubles any damage taken for anyone affected by it, so enemies should go down quicker and will probably have a hard time trying to shoot back. Just watch out though, although the launcher fires the gas bombs further away, you can still be affected by them. The main difference between the standard gas grenades and the launcher is that the launcher can fire the gas bombs much further than you'd otherwise be able to throw them. It also takes up a gadget slot rather than a grenade slot. The launcher is only available for the operator class, but both factions can use it, and it comes in two variants, the M320 for the cops and the M79 for the crooks. They both might look different, but they perform exactly the same. Just like with the grenades, the gas mask will counter out the gas effects, making it a good counter gadget to use if players are using the gas launchers against you, or if you just have a bad habit of running into your own clouds. It's a useful gadget to use to suppress other players at mid to long distances, and it can give you a huge advantage when taking on clusters of enemies around objective points and choke points. As for another gadget, which isn't really a gadget at all, but I'm going to include it here anyway, is the throwing knife. Although this is more of a weapon than a gadget, it doesn't take the place of a primary or secondary weapon, and instead it's equipped in your grenade slot. You'll be given two throwing knives on each spawn, and if the name isn't obvious, they're basically knives that you throw at people. It kills in one hit, but it does have a limited range and requires some timing to master, as there's a bit of a delay from when you whip out the knife and throw it. Both the police and criminals can use the knives, and you can equip them on all kits. The knives can't be recovered when thrown, so make sure your target is in range before you throw. Although you can take on enemies head on with the throwing knives, it can sometimes be a risky move, as if you miss, you're probably going to be dead before you can pull out your gun. So the knives are probably most effective when you're being stealthy in close quarters. You'll stay silent, and it's quicker to launch a knife into someone's back than to run up and stab them with a melee weapon. You'll also have a range advantage too, in case you need to take out someone quietly who's slightly out of reach, and you don't want to alert everyone else with your gun whilst you're behind enemy lines. Another gadget you'll be able to use in the Robbery DLC is the passenger first aid. It's pretty similar to the medical unit specialisation in Battlefield 4. And it lets you heal other teammates while they sit in the same vehicle as you, even if they're sat as passengers or driving around. Though the gadget only works when you're driving or riding in the same vehicle. The gadget can only be used on an operator loadout, but can be used by both factions. The passenger first aid is more of a perk than a gadget. It nets you more points and makes you more of a team player by helping out your allies. It's an effective gadget to equip if you tend to use vehicles that often have the other players exposed, like if you're driving the counter-attack trucks, motorbikes, airboats, or even the flying transport chopper. It's also a very handy gadget to use on game modes like Hotwire, as you'll keep your teammates topped up with health and rack up more points in the process. And last off is the FR mask, though it's available to all players even if you don't own the Robbery DLC. It was released at the same time as the expansion, hence why I've included it in this video. So it's similar to the gas mask, only instead of countering the effects of gas grenades, the FR mask counters fire and incendiary grenades. It reduces the damage taken from the flames and sometimes even makes you invincible against fire damage. When you have the mask equipped, you'll be able to see the mask on your character model, and this will change your appearance in game. This also allows teammates and enemies to be able to tell who's wearing one. It's a good gadget to use if you're prone to running into molotovs quite a lot, and it can help you advance through areas and take on objective points that are being spammed by enemy incendiary grenades much more easily. Though to use it, you'll have to have it equipped on an operator loadout. So guys, these are all the gadgets you can get your hands on in the Robbery DLC for Battlefield Hardline. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to see tons more content new and upcoming. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.